Part 17. Unexpectedly, Prince Duan obtained the favorite watermelon seeds. Mingyu nodded. That's good. But this prince still has a very important task to entrust to you. He seriously explains the matter. Bua Tan's heart froze, then he looked solemn and answered with hands. Your Highness has given orders. The villain will do my best. Bua Tan's words made Mingyu very satisfied, and immediately said, I heard that the western regions are rich in the good horses. There is a kind of rouge horse in the Wan country. Its fur is bright red, it can travel thousands of miles a day, and there is a Pegasus in the Shui country, which is also one of the best horses in the world. Bua Tan was stunned for a moment. What did the prince mean when he suddenly mentioned the horse? But he still nodded respectfully when he couldn't understand. Indeed, these two kinds of horses are well known in the countries of the western regions. And they are rare, the good horses. Mingyu smiled, and it didn't take him a lot of time to understand this. Your Highness, what do you mean? Bua Tan couldn't figure out what Mingyu meant by this. So he simply asked. Mingyu calmly knocked on the table and threw a blockbuster leisurely. I want you to bring back such a divine horse in addition to collecting all kinds of crop seeds this trip. Bua Tan frightened. This. What? Is there a problem? It's not a problem. It's a big problem. Bua Tan complained a lot. Not only would it cost a lot to exchange for such a steed, but to bring the horse back from such a long distance was not an ordinary risk. Bua Tan said with a bitter face, My lord, it is too risky to bring this kind of horse back. Let's not talk about the price this horse will cost. When passing through other countries, it is inevitable that people will recognize it and detain it, even if it escapes safely. It is impossible for the horses to reach Dayan Country smoothly, even in the Shui country that must pass through. Mingyu smiled and said, No matter how much the price is, you will get it. If you are afraid of being recognized, then disguise the horse and make it invisible to others. As for measuring device, you can't talk without counting. Besides, the Dayan country lacks good horses that can fight. If you can bring back the horses of the gods and have good breeds, are you afraid that you will not be able to improve good offspring? At that time, he will build a pasture on the territory to raise horses. Is he afraid that the supply of horses will be insufficient? It is with such an idea that Mingyu has a good understanding of those famous horses. Over the years, the horses from the Shui country died and flowed into the Dayan country. The Dayan country was based on agriculture and lacked high-quality horses. As a result, there was a serious shortage of horses. It was only after all Dayan country was established that it was established as a district. The Red Robe Iron Cavalry of 5,000 people has already explained this point. Therefore, Mingyu considers the root cause, and then the animal husbandry must be gradually developed and expanded. There must be a place for raising horses and good horse breeds. The best way is to form an industrial chain. Isn't the barbarians superior to the fact that they have a good number of horses, and if these advantages are gone, how can they still show off their power like they are now? How is this possible? Bua Tan was speechless. Can this horse still disguise like a human? It sounds like an incredible thing. Mingyu saw through his thoughts. Why is it impossible? In ancient times, good horses met horses, and horses were common, but good horses were rare. Not everyone can see whether a horse is good or bad at a glance. After reading his expression, Mingyu simply said to continue, There are dozens or hundreds of carriages and horses in our caravan. When we go, ordinary horses can pull the goods. When the good horses are traded, we will replace some of them with good horses. Although there are some differences in the fur and skeleton of a good horse, as long as the bright and beautiful appearance is covered, who will know that it is a good horse and a bad horse? Bua Tan's eyes twitched, listening to the prince's meaning to use the good horse that was exchanged to pull the cart to reach their country. For the purpose of obfuscation, so that no one notices the horses, there is no risk. In today's world, everyone loves good horses, and having a good horse also has the capital to show off to others. Let me ask, whoever gets a good horse is not delicious to serve? I'm afraid no one would think that such a good horse would be used to pull a truck. It hurts just thinking about it. Just think about it, as long as the original fur on the horse's body is covered with mud and mortar water, can people recognize it if you don't look carefully? Ming Yu held his chin and spoke his thoughts without reservation. As for the Shishi country, will they keep the horses carrying the goods in the caravan? Bua Tan thought about Ming Yu's words carefully, and the more he thought about it, the more he felt that the feasibility was very high. The horse may be brought back. Seeing his fascination, Ming Yu didn't bother, just took a sip of tea quietly with a smile on his lips. Under the candlelight, his fair face was dyed with a hazy and gentle halo. When Bua Tan woke up, he realized that he was being rude, and was about to stand up to plead guilty, but he was stopped by Ming Yu. What do you think of this method? Will it work? Bua Tan nodded. You can give it a try, but only get a good horse. The price is too big, my lord. Did you really decide that? Ming Yu knew this. He had thought about it for a long time. He wanted the best horse with strong genes will give them better offspring. He will choose suitable breed pairings. And a single spark can start a prairie fire. As long as he successfully brings back one horse, there will be more good horses in the future. As for the price, Ming Yu believes that the goods sent by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince will definitely set off a storm in the far west. He wants to make the tea, porcelain and the famous silk of Dayan Country, and make Western countries flock to them. You have to plan carefully, come up with the marketing methods of later generations, and let Bua Tan make a good layout in the Western regions. At that time, driven by interests, there will always be some profit-seeking businessmen who will come to Liangcheng despite difficulties and obstacles. What will Liangcheng be like at that time? It's really exciting. I hope that day will come soon. Seeing that Ming Yu didn't plan to change his mind, Bua Tan had to take the order. The villain will do his best to handle this matter for the prince. The small bag of green cloth came, so he took it out and presented it to Ming Yu. My lord, this is the seed that the villain specially bought among the Hu people these days. If you know whether the prince is useful or not, please ask him to take a look. Since Ming Yu gave him the task of collecting seeds, he has kept his mind on collecting seeds from the barbarians while setting up a caravan. The Lord solemnly explained that he did this. It was a very important thing to think about. So, he starts collecting as soon as possible. Whether it is useful or not, the Lord can see his ability to do things. He didn't have any hope at first, but after spreading the news, he didn't expect someone to come to the door the next day and bring the seeds from his hometown. It was only later that he learned that everyone had left their hometowns. And some of them were reluctant to part with their homeland, so they brought some soil seeds from their hometown, which was a thought. Therefore, the seeds in this bag are not too many. But they are of various kinds. There are more than 10 kinds of common and uncommon ones. For Ming Yu, this was a good start. He encouraged Bua Tan to make persistent efforts, and he would definitely show his merits for him in the future. Bua Tan was so happy that he couldn't find the north and south, and he swore his loyalty to the ground before leaving. Ming Yu opened the cloth bag, but many seeds did not recognize for him. It seemed that he had to find a professional to identify and explain it. He casually fiddled with the seeds in the cloth bag with his fingers, and suddenly his eyes lit up, and a familiar black particle lay there quietly. This is watermelon seeds? When he was in the later life, he always liked to hold half of the melon and eat it with a spoon every summer. It was sweet and thirst-quenching. It was his favorite. After coming here, there is no such item in his memory, and he regrets it for a long time. Unexpectedly, he obtained watermelon seeds today. As long as he cultivates them, he will finally be able to satisfy his cravings. What a good day today. All good things come together. Ming Yu was overjoyed. The corners of his smiling mouth grinned to the roots of his ears.